What up, YouTube? Elleix, come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today we have a 2 versus 2 matchup featuring the Scion Custom Races mod. So if you're looking at these races and you feel totally lost, that is because this mod adds 3 new playable races to the StarCraft universe, 2 of which are featured in this matchup. And man, the attention to detail and balance is so good. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Team number 1 spawning on the top right-hand side of the map. It's our teal Zayed player Kytrion with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our yellow Genetron player Yu. Both very strong players, so I expect nothing but greatness from this game already. Going up against team number 2, spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's a double Zerg team. It's our purple Zerg player Stassin with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our red Zerg player InanisLector. So InanisLector and Stassin, great choice on the composition because I don't think we've ever actually covered a match featuring a double Zerg team in a Scion Custom Races game. This should be a really fun one. Now, the issue I already see is that team number 1 has no wall to speak of, like literally nothing. We have a pretty good unit composition and actually what I think is a pretty early Virtus. The Virtus is a really good unit. It has a self-fix protocol, which renders it attackless and immobile, but heals it really quick. And it looks like Yu going to protect his ally's base, but leaving his base defenseless. The processing core, will it get canceled? I think it might. And there we go, the cancel forced by the red Zerg player. A few of these Zerglings going down. The Zerglings running away, but getting cornered by the Scorpolisks, which are a melee-only unit. So base number 3 for Kytrion will be safe, and actually another base coming down. So Kytrion going for a really early 4th base, and Yu going for that 3rd base. So looks like both teams are going to be going for a macro game, no cheese to speak of. And I was going to say a double Zerg team is probably the team I fear the most because of the sheer cheese potential with the Speedlings and Banelings, man. Anyway, a big engagement in the middle of the map, and it looks like the Genetron player is just 1v2ing right now. That's crazy. The Virtus is doing a lot of damage. This Virtus with 7 kills is absolutely diabolical. This Virtus with 6 kills. The Scorpolisks from the Genetron ally coming in to attack these queens. Ultimately going down, but doing so much damage. Actually, one Scorpolisk is still alive with 0 kills, and the switch up to the Roaches from the Zerglings may not be a bad choice at all. The Revilers here as well going down from the Zayed player. Now 3 Virtuses in the middle of the map, and this is just some non-stop action. All of a sudden, it was kind of slow, so I jumped ahead in the game, and here we are in the midst of it all, man. More Scorpolisks joining the fray. This Virtus with 2 kills, so the high kill Virtuses have gone down. Yu deciding to possibly retreat. The Scorpolisks acting as a meat shield to protect, I feel like, the more expensive units. They are a melee-only unit. Man, it is good to be back. I've been on vacation, kind of on vacation. I was going through a move which forced me to take time off work, but it also forced me to drive halfway across the country, and it is so good to be back casting StarCraft 2 games and making YouTube content. If you guys are new to my channel, by the way, please consider subscribing if this sort of custom StarCraft 2 content interests you. I cover it all the time. Now Kytrion with the gold base, I forgot to mention that. It looks like it is saturated. This base, though, is under attack. The workers have been forced on the retreat. Also, I don't know what happened to my music, but we don't have time to fix that at the moment. These Roaches going down, actually running to the support of the remaining purple Roaches. Where is the red Zerg player right now? Oh, guess what? The red Zerg player has run through the totally wall-less main base for team number 1, and this is exactly what I was talking about. If you have mass Speedlings and no wall in a team game, it's basically game over. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, maybe you'll be able to take out the Zerglings, but if your economy is destroyed, that is it. So many Roaches, though. Now, team number 2 did say, the Zerg team did say that Speedlings, for some reason, suck against the Zayed. And I really don't know. I haven't seen Zerglings used enough against the Zayed to make that assumption. But evidently, team number 2 thinks that is the case. We have Bile Pits here, backed up by the feeding pools. The feeding pools do heal 3 units and structures at a time, and the Bile Pit is effectively a photon cannon. It does shoot up and down, but this base, I think, is totally destroyed. This is the Swarm right now. We are seeing the Swarm going up against a custom composition. Some Zerglings running around in the midst of all this. They will be able to close the distance to these units, but the Roaches, man, they are just so tanky. The Virtus, I think, going through its self-fix protocol, but ultimately going down. This Virtus as well will go down. Taking a look at the worker supply here for both teams, you has 64 workers, Kytrion has 53 workers, and InanisLector has 63 workers, and Stassin with the 70 workers. So relatively even, but a slight lead for our Zerg team right now. And an Infestor, I love this. There we go. The Infestor throwing down a fungal on these Spitters. The Spitters will be able to do splash damage, though, as you can see, all over these Roaches. The Roaches forced on the retreat, and also a base getting canceled once again by our yellow player, forced to be canceled by the red player. InanisLector with the multi-pronged attack. That is absolutely savage. Some Ravagers here morphing in as well. I like this a lot. This will be a good answer, I think, to the Spitters right here. And man, the Zayed, I don't know. I can't choose favorites for the Scion Custom Races because it's like trying to choose my favorite pet, you know? But I don't know, aesthetically, I think they're my favorite. I know that's not a popular opinion among the community, but I don't know, they're my favorite aesthetically. But the Kytrion also look really good. Anyway, some action here in the middle of the map. The Zayed units going down. There's just so much Zerg stuff right now. This is mostly purple stuff. Looks like the red player is hanging back a little bit. Usually you want to move out simultaneously, but, you know, Stassin was handling it pretty well, and I don't think InanisLector necessarily wanted to throw away his units unnecessarily, or maybe was thinking about moving across the map to a different side. So the top side of this base, of this gold base, is really well defended. Unfortunately, though, the bottom side is not very well defended. So InanisLector is kind of posting up on the northern side of the gold base, and it looks like there is a ping here from the yellow player. Interesting. So actually, wait a minute. Kytrion with the Farian. The Farian is a really cool unit. It's like a dropship and detector built into one. So really nice utility unit. Here we go, though. More action in the middle of the map. There's also a big mass of red units in the middle of the map as well. InanisLector right now kind of moving in the middle, and Stassin more or less 1v2ing. This is more of a 1v1 right now. I think InanisLector is kind of biding his time, waiting to attack at the opportune moment. The Ravagers here eyeballing this static defense. We'll see. We'll see how long these Bile Pits last. This is both teams, though, right now. So InanisLector should back off. 1v2ing in this situation is not ideal, considering this is the entirety of both armies for team number 1. Some Zerglings, though, splitting to run towards the other side of the enemy base. And here we go. The Repulsor going down. Those units, those workers for the yellow player under attack by InanisLector, and team number 2, the Zerg team, surrounding the yellow Genetron units and actually separating team number 1. That was a hell of a play. Bro, that was really, really good. That was such a good pickup for the Zerg team, and these Zerglings here are still alive. The ACRs, the SCV equivalents, working overtime to defend themselves. They're like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be miners, not attackers. Also, InanisLector throwing down some Nidus Worms. Oh man, a double Nidus Worm entry into the main base. Oh, this is wild. But I think it was a bit of a red herring because we have most of Zerg's stuff on the bottom side of the map, on the bottom right side of the map. So yeah, there was some stuff in the main base, but most of the stuff is actually knocking on the front door for team number 1. 2 more Nidus Worms being called down, I think. Here we go. 1 Nidus Worm in the main base. 1 Nidus Worm down here where the 3rd and 4th base were, I think. We'll see. We'll see where the units will be teleported. I mean, yeah. Okay, here we go, actually. InanisLector committing to this. More Nidus Worms on the way. This is insane. This stuff getting cleaned up by team number 1, but the more Nidus Worms here. The Nidus Worms popping, and look at all these roaches, bro. Now we are reaching what I want to say is a critical mass of roaches in the main base. I mean, a critical mass is a bit over dramatic. We do have 4 moles right here, which are effectively siege tanks, throwing some damage on top of these roaches from a distance, and also giving time for Kytrion and you as well to react to this. But InanisLector, my guy, those Nidus Worms were insane. More Nidus Worms coming down. I feel like we don't see them enough. Used properly, they can really be a kind of game-ending unit, I feel like. I mean, once again, maybe a little overdramatic, but this many Nidus Worms? Look at this. You have so many Nidus Worms to choose from. Also, stassin with the Broodlords, by the way. This truly is the Swarm. Okay, so the Tesla here, it's a support unit. It is throwing down what is a cloak charge, and also can throw down kind of an electric charge, a shock charge, I should say. So the cloak charge will cloak friendly units, and the shock charge does damage kind of over time. But those Nidus Worms in the main base were insane. Look at this. Yu has 14 workers left. Kytrion has 35. Meanwhile, InanisLector with 81 workers and stassin with 87. An absolutely outrageous play in the main base. I will never get over that. I think I'm going to go to sleep tonight thinking about that, and probably for the foreseeable future. Oh man, more Nidus Worms by InanisLector in the main base. At this point, is this base going to be abandoned? I mean, there's so much like production here still. The Zyadens, which are production for the Zyad. This is not necessarily something the Zyad player wants to lose. Also, if you heard a Discord ping, that is my bad. That is me, not you. I forgot to set myself to do not disturb. So apologies for that. If you got by the Discord ping, leave a comment down below and let me know and roast me in the comments. Anyway, wait a minute, we have spine crawlers. Oh my god, dude. So spine crawlers in the main base. At least 3 Nidus Worms in the main base. And yeah, it looks like they're going for the base race. Team number 1 just deciding to evacuate and move down to the opposing side of the map and actually doing some work. Gotta give it to them. More Nidus Worms. InanisLector, I feel like, is just loving these Nidus Worms. I mean, I know it because I can see it. Dude. These Nidus Worms ultimately going down. The Eroders getting fungal. That is a huge fungal. You with the moles, though. doing some damage, doing some work to these roaches, but they won't be able to do anything to the Broodlords, and I really feel like the Broodlords are going to clean this up, and yes, they do. What are these? Oh, man. We have some Achilles. The Aquila, a really good kind of infantry-style unit. I want to say it's more like a tier 2.5 or like a tier 3 unit even. A really strong infantry unit. So they do shoot up and down, but look at the map right now. The map is totally covered in creep, and, I mean, Stassin has expanded into enemy territory. This is hilarious. I really don't know if team number 1 has an answer at this point. We'll just see how long they survive. You throwing out the GG. Kytrion throwing out a GG of his own. Team number 1 giving the victory to the Zerg team. What a crazy, crazy matchup. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.